Hello YouTube, this is Christian coming to you with a review. Today we're looking at the Vanquest Envoy 17 Messenger Bag. This is one of my very loved day-to-day use items. I'm using this particular messenger bag when I need to take my notebook, when I travel by car, by bus, by bike on shorter distances, or when I'm flying out of town. This has been my go-to bag after various attempts to find a messenger bag that is suited for me, for my idea of what I want to carry, what I want to have with you. And I've been switching gear around a lot to make things work. I still periodically use other bags, mostly when I have a lighter carry scenario. But if I have to take most of my gear, then I'm going back to this bag over and over and over again. So this is one of these occasions where I'm probably going to spend some time traveling tomorrow, and so this is loaded out for tomorrow for my next work day. And yeah, it's a great bag. I've been looking at various products. I've been looking at nutsack. I've been looking at messenger bags from 511, messenger bags from various companies. Tom Bin, Mystery Ranch, I believe had one, but looking at all of these, I eventually ended up with this one, mostly because it fits perfectly into my EDC carry system and the way I like to organize my stuff. Now, you might have noticed, if you're visiting this channel again after you maybe watched some of my knife reviews or pouch reviews, I'm not scripting any of this. I'm just winging it, as we say around here. I'm just pretty much talk about it the way I use it. So I might be missing some features in the process, so please forgive me if that's the case. But I think the most important bits I will cover, and I'll give you my honest opinion, what I think about this bag. There's a couple of little niggles, but overall this is a great product, and I would not hesitate to buy it again. So yeah, let's get started. Let's have a look. This is, as you perhaps can see, a rather big bag. It has seen a fair bit of use. It's not compact by any means. Envoy 17, so it comfortably fits a 15-inch MacBook Pro plus heaps of other gear. So let's have a look and see how I have it loaded out. I'm particularly fond of being able to carry more than one water bottle on the outside, so that was an important feature for me. I'm also a bit of a sucker for Pelz webbing and for MOLLE attachments, mostly because in most messenger bags you find out there, you have plenty, and so is the case with this one too, you have plenty of internal organization features, but quite often you're lacking the possibility to put stuff meaningful on the outside, and Pelz webbing and MOLLE accessories just give you the opportunity to customize the bag to the way you see fit and the way you need it. So let's start with the front of the bag. It has a little reinforced rubberized, what do you call it, a fabric tab at the front, which serves well to attach a rear bike light. So if you having that bag on a bike, that would be a convenient place to attach a rear light for visibility's sake. Then you have that hook and loop Pelz webbing patch. So if you're into little morale patches and things like that, then here's your opportunity to customize it and make it yours. And I kind of like this feature too. I have a keeper on there from Maxpedition. When I leave the house, quite often I have the hands full, locking the door, and then having an opportunity to quickly latch in my key, just to have my hands free is a is a good thing, so always have a keeper on it. And on the side, once again, here's your secondary water bottle storage. I have also from Maxpedition, this is a cell phone pouch. So usually I have it in my trousers, but sometimes, as is the case tomorrow, I have more formal attire, and so I do not keep that phone in my pockets all day. I have it in here, and my watch serves nicely to notify me of calls and anything along these lines, so I don't have to wear my phone all the time. Also for colder weather, I'm always have my cap with me, which, by the way, these are excellent. I'm having really hard time finding good caps. Tried a lot of them. This is a good fit for me. I like the 511 ones. They're really nicely done, and that's one of my favorite cap designs. Okay, then getting on to this, and one feature that really stands out for me in this particular bag that is really great is the top access zipper. So the entire pack is closed. You've got those latches here that pretty much hold it in place tightly, plus the Velcro, and the Velcro does a great job retaining the lid on the pack. So in most cases you can carry it like that and not worry about it at all for it to open up. But these are really solid, and there's no chance that opens up by any means. A nice touch to that is they have these little Velcro retainers for your access band, so that works well too. Personally, I feel they could have placed that a little bit better, but it works as it is, so that's absolutely fine. And down at the bottom of the bag, it runs all the way around, so you could theoretically strap something under the bag if you felt you needed to do that. And the additional webbing also helps a little bit with the wear of the bag. Another great feature of this bag is it has enough internal structure and is stiff enough not to fall over on you. So it's one of the very few messenger bags that don't go flaccid and collapse when you put them on the floor. It just stands there, and that's a really important aspect to me, because I want to be able to access the top pocket without having to flip it around all the time, hold it in place, make sure it doesn't fall over again. So that's great. It's a great stable pack. It stands on its own. That's for me, that's very important. Now the top zippers, and you will have noticed that already perhaps, is that you have those two handles, which looks a bit odd because, well, you know, why would you need two? It looks a little bit funny, but it is comfortable. It gives you plenty of good hold. It's comfortable to grab it there. But the reason is, if you took it just by one, you would be putting undue stress on that zipper, and perhaps with enough tugging and pulling you could just tear that open, and that would be a little bit problematic to fix, I guess. So the purpose there is really to take the strain and stress out of the zipper when you're carrying it by its handle. So opening that up, that is a real beauty of this particular bag. I don't have to put it on its bag. I don't have to open the latches. I can access the components of this bag straight away. So if I have to go to get to my EDC pack, that's just easy pull out. If I have to get to my first aid pack, here it is. So that's all nice. It's quick access, really. If we put it back together. So that's awesome, right? All my little pouches, my organizer pouches, are sitting there in the middle in a relatively generous and large space. In the back there you can see my notebook. In order to get that out, I would have to open the lid, but all the organized packs, they are accessible from right here, and that's a great feature. I absolutely love that. That's a great convenience to me. So also here on the front lid, You can see you have those two zippers, and in good old Vanquest fashion, also one of the things they have going in all of their products is the high visibility kind of fabric on the inside, which just gives you great contrast to make out what's in the pocket. A lot of other companies go with a grey, sometimes even a black, and it's really hard to see what's going on inside your pocket, but not so much in this particular case. So just a bunch of cables here in the front pockets, and what else have we got in there? Manual and a little hard drive. So these pockets, they don't hold a lot of volume, so personally I prefer to have rather flat items sitting in here, just replacement springs and some rubber bands in that pocket, and so all that is pretty much flat pack stuff. And I don't like to bulk these pockets, and there's plenty of other places where you can put your things that are a little bit bigger, that require more volume. So but these are nice for documents that you have to access on the go, or cables, or the occasional charger. They're certainly big enough for that, so that's great. And then let's have a look on the side. Over here what we have is a pouch from Tasmanian Tiger. This is a little drop pouch. I love it for this particular purpose. It's just really not much in it. In this case, I have my headphones in there and a little bit of cream. But it's just nice. It's a drop pouch. It has a little bit of organization going, but you can quite easily open it up without everything dropping out, and it serves me well as a drop pouch. It's exactly what you want on the side of a pack like that. So on the other side, that I already showed you, but you can see, and perhaps make it out a little bit better on the other side, that is where you have your PALS webbing. In this case, that is also their proprietary laser cut fabric composite, and it is durable. It is really tough stuff, so I can't tell you whether it's gonna hold up in the long term quite as well as your nylon webbing, but so far it doesn't show any signs of wear, and it's been holding up really nicely. On the back of the pack, let's have a look at that. You can see they have a pass-through for your trolley. So if you're traveling by plane and you have a bigger pack on wheels with you, you can slide that over the handle and stow that on top of your little trolley. And they have a little pouch here. I haven't quite made out what I'm going to be using that one for, but as far as these things go, you can never have enough of pockets, especially if you're wanting to sell these things. So I haven't used it. Maybe it will come in useful at some point. And you've got two slide pockets here on the side. What you would put inside here, I don't know, perhaps an energy bar or something. Well, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't put a knife on there, but yeah, maybe a flashlight, or if you use it for another purpose, maybe a small tool could fit in there. So on the back here, this is also a high-vis pocket. I just keep my iPad in here. So, and you can see at the back here we have a hook section, rather a loop section, and the other thing I also carry is a watertight bag, just in case. And in here you have a loop section, so that gives you the opportunity to attach some hook and loop accessories, which is great, but it is also a nice and smooth fabric, which is great for more sensible items such as iPads or perhaps a notebook. You could fit a smaller notebook in here, no trouble at all, or use it as a document pouch. Or if you wanted to get one of their hook and loop organizers, and you could put additional things, whatever you see fit, in here, and that works really well. So then you can see, one thing they come with is Vanquest's version of a zipper pull. Now you see those, they're really quite comfortable to hold on to. And they're quite nice. They were all over this bag. And I personally hate these. And for good reason. I exchanged this one up here. It's not too much of a problem. I exchanged them for the Maxpedition ones to see if it makes a big difference. But everywhere else, I replaced this zipper pulls against just some paracord with one of my custom knife beads. And the reason is, out of these, the way they attach to your runner on the zipper is you have equal pressure, equal pull-up, and you have a really nice and smooth running zipper. With those, if you have a closer look at those, let's see if I can carefully zoom in on that, you can see how the way they need to be attached, just because they are injection molded piece of plastic and they're one closed loop, you have to put them through the side of your actual zipper runner. And the disadvantage of doing that is that you're actually putting your runner on a tilt. That means you're not pulling that back evenly. You always kind of tend to have them a little bit on the side, and that gives you quite a jerky motion on your zippers. And I'm really quite particular about how I want my zippers to run. So in this particular case, I just went back to good old-fashioned paracord with a nice bead on it, and they run so much smoother. So if you have one of these bags and you're using either the Maxpedition variety of those or the Vanquest variety, sorry, then do me a favor, just if you have one zipper that doesn't run well, just take it off, put a piece of paracord through the middle of it, and see what kind of difference that makes. And I strongly believe it will also make a big difference in terms of the service life of your zippers. So, and those will come off too. They will be replaced just against a piece of paracord. But that just on the side. Let's get back to the back. So to open it up, you open those two, you break the Velcro, and you get access to the front of it, lined with hook and loop at the front here. A couple of little pouches for your pens, and a little bit of a bigger one. Once again, I'm not putting anything in here. Just these are, for me, these are quick access items, and they're not that quick to access. So I have it in there as a backup, as something that I might use if I'm running out, but I'm not accessing these pockets at all. I keep it closed most of the time. So just going through it, you've got another big zipper here. That's where I keep right in the rain pad, and my sealskin gloves. And once again, and once again you can see one side is a high-vis smooth fabric. It's a ripstop kind of nylon, and on the inside once again you've got your loop. I'm not entirely sure why you would want loop in here. Working with Velcro inside of confined pockets like this doesn't make an awful lot of sense. It's really hard to get things on and off that, but it offers some scratch protection, so if you have sensible items, I suppose that has a purpose. So looking at the inside of the bag, one thing to note, and I'll put it right under the center line of the camera, you've got these little extenders here which hold your lid in place, so it can't go too far back, so which is a relatively nice feature. But you can see the way they designed the water bottle pockets. They are extendable, by the way, so you can open them up a little bit and get a bigger bottle in there. I just like to keep them fairly tight. But you can see how the bottle pushes into the interior of the bag. So just something to keep in mind if you are putting your bottles on the side, and that's where I love them because I access them all the time. then you're losing a little bit of volume on the inside. So that being said, if they are out of the equation, these pockets are relatively unobtrusive. They come in rather flat, and then you regain some internal volume, which is great. So on the back there you have a little Velcro latch, and that is your compartment for your computer, for your MacBook, or whatever you prefer. And once again, that is ripstop fabric. That's rather generous. So that's a 15-inch MacBook Pro. It would fit something slightly bigger as well, so that's really good. And then you have two compartments right in front of it. So they are stitched in the middle. So they are two compartments separate. I don't use it much, mostly because I put their dividers into this bag, so that I can make use of the volume, have it nicely organized and compartmentalized. So in here, that's just cable, charger, and for that particular reason I love these longer, slim Expedition bags. They're just about the perfect height to go into these pegs and give me plenty of organization. Then here I have my first 8-pack. In this case, that's a Tasmanian Tiger. They sew their Molly pulse webbing attachment hooks directly onto the pack. But they are nice packs, by the way, so something that I really enjoy using. And as opposed to many other manufacturers of these first responder packs, they actually think it through a little bit better, because the opening of this slide-in pocket is actually on the correct side if you mount it on the back of a backpack. Quite often you have the opening in here, and of course if you fold that over on a vertical pack, then everything falls out. For that particular reason, I like this little Tasmanian Tiger bag. So that lives in here. Then my day-to-day EDC pack, and there at the bottom I always keep some additional Velcro straps if I have to tie together some cables, and sometimes I just want to change the theme of my pack, and I have some additional morale patches in here that I change over as the mood strikes. Then these are actually packing cubes. They're not really organizer bags. No EDC packs, so just empty volume is what they are. And this one is expendable, so that contains just a few of the items that come with the pack that I might want to put on at a later stage. Like, for instance, this strap, but we will talk about that one a little bit later. So what else have we got in here from Maxpedition? A little organizer, spoon, and a flashlight, and that is just a Velcro accessory that clips on in there. And this is one of their sticky cubes, packing cubes, actually the same as the one that I showed you before, but in this case expanded, and they expand to approximately 4 times the volume of the unexpanded version. They have a little see-through window, and once again you have that high visibility orange on it. What they also do, which is quite nice, you have those hook and loop patches on it. So if you wanted to actually stick it against the inside of the peg, then you could do that. It makes a lot more sense in backpack scenarios to actually stick it on, where you don't have to slide your packing cube in and out. In this particular case, I have those terminators, or rather those loop patches on the hook section, just so that I can slide them in and out with ease. It's not all yet in terms of storage space. Here's another compartment, also not a lot of volume, but you can use it. I just have an additional carry bag in there, but there's not a lot of volume in that, and they're a little bit hard to access. It's nice that they're there if you need them, you can make use of them, and if you don't use them, it doesn't make much of a difference really. So that's great. An accessory for this bag, the bag doesn't come with those dividers, but you might be familiar with them maybe from your photo bags. So they're great little units. They just strap in, and they're a little bit adding to the Lego nature of these pegs. Also, if you want to kind of have a diversion or divert it vertically, you can create shelves with it, or if you have your camera in there, you can put it in there and actually kind of produce a lid for your camera, so you can top stow something on top of it, or give it a little bit of protection. That's rather useful. And I like these dividers just because I just find my stuff in the same position in relation to the top lid, which is especially useful if I use the top zipper, and I know in the middle that's where my first aid and my EDC pack is, and on the side I've got my charging cables, and then the rest of it sits on the other side and it doesn't fall around. So I kind of like this feature. But I suppose you know, if you go out with your camera and you have a couple of lenses with you, that would also make it or turn it into a great companion for that usage scenario. So that's the internal, and yeah, it's not a lot of bags out there that give you that kind of internal space while maintaining the shape, standing upright, and also give you pocket galore. So you can throw it at what you want. You will, if you can't fit it into this bag, if you can't make this bag fit your needs, then I don't know what will. So this is awesome. This is great. So that's pretty much the inside. Last thing to talk about is your actual shoulder strap. Now this is nicely contoured. They also sell an upgraded version of it with a Cobra latch, with a quick detach latch. But the padding in that case doesn't move. So it's a little bit thicker, higher quality padding, albeit there's not an awful lot you can complain about with this one. You have these ventilated mesh net areas there, and a little bit of rubberized and creppier material in the middle, and it has a nice bend to it too. But the big advantage of that is sometimes you just sling it over the shoulder, and sometimes you just push it back over your back, like when you're sitting on a bike, and then you want this shoulder pad to move depending on where your bag needs to sit. And that's one of the great features of that bag as well, because the bag just slides around on this shoulder bag so nicely. It's a great design. I like it. And if you go for the upgraded shoulder strap, then you would lose that kind of functionality, which I didn't want to. However, you can see here on the side, the shoulder strap is removable, so that is just velcroed in. It's a very tight connection too, so you can change it to whatever suits your needs. This little fella here, that is just a piece I put on to hold my baseball cap, so that's not part of this. But in addition to that, what you also get is this little strap, and what that does, it ties into those loops down there, and the other side then pretty much, that's a really tight one, that then goes around your shoulder strap and just gives you that diagonal fixture, so that your bag doesn't slide around when you have it on the bike and you want to keep it sitting with the backside against your back. So that's a great feature here, and whenever I go biking with that particular messenger bag, then I'm using that one, so that is always with the bag, and is also, if you have to carry it for longer period periods of time, then that comes in really handy, and it's great. It's a great feature to have on a messenger bag like that. So that's good, that's great. Downsides, disadvantages. So I already touched on it a little bit. I wish they could have designed the water bottle pockets a little bit differently, so that you're not pushing in on the sides. That could have been done a little bit more generously. I would have preferred that over what's happening. It's not a big deal, it's not a deal breaker by any means, but that's something that I feel has been overlooked a little bit. And the next thing, while it works, you can perhaps see that your zipper isn't exactly center over the middle of the bag. And I feel something went a little bit astray with the lid design. So if I put that around here to put the zipper in the middle of the bag, then I'm just ending up with a relatively big gap up here. It just bows out a little bit too much for my particular taste. And if I put it all the way down to close it completely in its best closed position, then you can see I'm having trouble getting that on really. So that is a bit of a mismatch there, right? And then also your top is a little bit out of whack. It leans forward too much. So if you want, if you don't load the bag and you want to keep it a little bit slimmer, then this down there could have been solved a little bit better, in my opinion. But also, at the same time, this is not necessarily a deal breaker. It's just what it is, and personally, I'm alright with it. Could have been done a little bit better, but there's so many great features of this bag that makes me pick it over many others that I have to say I don't care too much. So this one is also available in a 13 version, which I believe relates to your 13-inch notebook size. And then there's a gopher version, which is a little bit less military looking and lacks a couple of features. So I went for the Envoy because I don't mind the military look, especially not in a plague. And the molly is almost non-existent. There's a little bit on the side, but the very moment you put an attachment on, you can't see it anymore anyways, and you put a couple of patches on and there's nothing all too military left of this particular bag. So that's fine by me, and as opposed to the Gopher, I really prefer the additional features of that one. Yeah, that's my take, and in this case, yeah, it is just something that I use quite a lot, that I enjoy, and I wanted to share. Maybe the design isn't, you know, the flashiest, but in terms of functionality, it is an absolutely great EDC bag. And yeah, if you're somewhere where you can have a look at it live, or perhaps have the money to spend, I would say go for it. It's an absolutely great bag. I thoroughly recommend it. It's one of the really great products from Vanquest, and I'm not affiliated with them by any means. I have a lot of Maxpedition products as well that I like, but in terms of messenger bags, that's my go-to product. Okay, so you all enjoy the rest of your day, and see you next time. All right, bye bye.